Best of all things gaming Monday to Friday, CoD Black Ops 3 today, and we're looking at another set of First Look Reticles. I did not do a video on Friday, and we are going to make up for that a little bit later in the week, but we'll talk about that once we finish off this first reticle and start, like kind of wasting time while we get to the second reticle gameplays. With the thermal reticles, I kind of have to play a bit longer range because I'm not very good with the thermal reticle and I don't want to get in too close. So I'm playing with some longer range weapons, and obviously you can't use thermal on SMGs and stuff, so the clips are going to be a little bit longer today. Now, today we're looking at the first two special multiplayer reticles of the thermal sight. Basically, if you do not know, if you haven't been watching the series so far, basically you can get 500 kills with your thermal sight, or with any sight really in the game, and it will get you a different reticles. So you get reticles for like 10, I don't even know what the numbers are. Let me see here for a second. It's 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. As you get those kills, you unlock certain reticles. Once you get to 500, you unlock 4 very special reticles, and they take an extra little challenge to get. So basically, the 2 reticles that you're going to see today, which are Stage, Fright, and Guardian, you have to get 500 kills while aiming down sights with the thermal sight, and then you unlock the challenges for doing these 2 sights. Now, the challenges are the same as the challenges in every other optic if you haven't caught on yet, with the Varix 3, the Reflex, the what's the other one, the Recon, and the Thermal. The challenges for all 4 reticles in each are all the same challenges, but you might want to change up your playstyle a little bit just to get those challenges done based on what reticle you're using. But for the Stage Fright reticle that we're seeing right now, you're going to actually have to get, what do you have to get? You have to get 25 headshots while aiming down sights with the thermal sight. So that's 500 kills, and then aim down sights and get 25 headshots, which is very easy to do with a thermal sight. Usually you're putting thermal sights on longer range weapons. Like I said, you can't put them on SMGs and stuff, which is a little bit of a shame, but you can put it on assault rifles, LMGs, and sniper rifles. So it's the longer range weapons, which means you're going to be looking for headshots anyways with those longer range weapons, and it's going to be pretty easy to get your 25 headshots on this. 25 headshots basically just come as you play with the reticle. Of course, the thermal reticle isn't very popular, so you may actually have to consciously put the thermal reticle onto your class to get this challenge done. Same as the 500 kills, really. You just have to really be sure of putting your reticles on. Like, you have to put the thermal sight on your gun to get the thermal reticles done, that's like the #1 challenge of using the thermal sight, is that you have to use the thermal sight, and I'm not a big fan of the thermal sight in this game, obviously. But the Stage Fright reticle that we're actually seeing right now is my favorite reticle for the thermal sight in the entire game. I think it's the most clear, it's the most practical, and it's kind of a little bit fun at the same time. So that's what makes it so great, in that it's very, very practical, where a lot of other thermal reticles are kind of distracting. They have a lot of colors and they've got a lot of stuff going on. You'll see in the next thermal video, the last 2 challenge reticles, or the last 2 special multiplayer reticles for thermal, are absolutely ridiculous. Like, they're absurd and they're impossible to use. But so I'm going to have a fun time getting the search and destroy clips for those. But the Stage Fright reticle is just so nice. It's got a very wide opening. It's very clear. The detailing of the diagram is actually around the very edges. So you got like these curtains, this red curtain, and that floorboard kind of base is always going to be lined up with your gun. Basically, with the barrel of your gun or whatever is where that floorboard base is going to be. So it's never really going to get into your way, unless it's on like some random, like, one weapon in the game it might get in your way. But it's really not going to obstruct your view. So it doesn't obstruct your view. It's very clear. It's got a nice firm red dot in the middle. Very easy to aim with. I think this is the best thermal reticle in the game. We've talked about this on previous First Look Reticles videos of the thermal sight. We were talking about some of the better ones, but I kept saying that there's the best thermal reticles coming up. That would be the Stage Fright reticle. The Guardian reticle, of course, is the wacky one of the day. The Guardian reticle is a little bit different looking. It's kind of funky and crazy and hard to use, if I'd say so myself, just because it's got so much going on. Like, the Stage Fright reticle is very clear, very open, just a big red dot in the middle, very easy to use. This one's got so much going on, it can get kind of distracting. You've got all these little blue kind of spaceships or whatever the hell they are kind of floating in the air, and then you've got a random blue dot, which is the dot that you aim with, and then you've got this purple thing at the bottom, which is the Guardian or whatever itself. I do believe this is modeled after an old arcade game or something. Don't quote me on that. I actually looked it up. I was trying to figure out what arcade game it was. It's not the arcade game Guardian, because it doesn't look anything like that. So I don't know what arcade game this is. Arcade is a little bit before my time. So guys, if you have played arcade games in the past, if you know what arcade game this is modeled after, let me know in the comment section down below. It might be like Space Invaders or something. I don't know. Just pretend that it's some kind of arcade game, because that's what they're going for basically. And it's, like I said, it's distracting. It's a harder one to use, and it's actually going to be harder to unlock as well, because you're going to have to get double kills with the thermal sight while aiming down sights with the thermal sight, which I'm actually going to get a nice little feed in a little bit in the next clip. But it's a little bit harder to get double kills with the thermal sight because, again, you're using the thermal sight at longer ranges, so it can be a little bit difficult to get those double kills unless you're using a fast fire rate weapon like the dingo that you're seeing in this video, where I'm just kind of spamming at these guys. And I think I actually got a double in this clip, or the clip before. I don't know. I got a double in one of them, and I got like a triple or a quad in this one here. So it's easy enough to get a double kill, but at the same time, it's a little bit harder than with all the other optics, because you can't put this optic on closer range weapons. So that's just the poor part about trying to get the Guardian reticle. And again, it's not a very practical reticle. It's got so much going on. There's so much stuff in the way that you might get a little bit distracted when you're using this reticle, and it might not be good for you. So that's the two reticles that we're looking at today. There's the nice little feed at the end. But we've got the Stage Fright and the Guardian reticle. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me which of these two is your favorite in the comment section down below, or what reticle do you like the best of all of the thermal reticles. I think a lot of the thermal reticles, especially in the multiplayer section, they're a lot more detailed than any other reticle category. So you've got that going for you, but at the same time, it's thermal sight, and nobody likes thermal sight. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We have to make up another video. We have to do like a twosome on one of the days here to make up for that missed video on Friday. Hopefully going to see a Battlefield 4 video coming out this week. And that's it for today. So thanks a lot for watching. See you guys later.